Breaking news from WRAL. Coverage you can count on.
We have breaking news we have learned in just the last 30 minutes. We learned this man at the center of an Amber Alert is also wanted for questioning in connection to a death investigation. The missing 9-year-old girl from Robeson County police believe is with him.
More breaking news. You're looking live at a gas station on New Bern Avenue in Raleigh. The armed robbery police are investigating right now.
And you'll notice the difference as you step out the door this morning. It's a lot warmer. We have really warm days in our forecast for the next several. I'll show you how warm it'll be for the trick-or-treaters coming up.
And today, both presidential candidates will be here as the all-important race in North Carolina comes down to the wire. The events they'll be holding today in Raleigh and Rocky Mount. Covering those and much more of your news here as we get our Wednesday started together. Thanks for making us part of it. I'm Jeff Hogan.
And I'm Renee Chu. Our Wednesday starting off on a warmer note. It will also be warmer in the afternoon. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center with a beautiful look at Raleigh.
We're seeing warmer temperatures and a little more moisture this morning as well. So that's created some low cloud cover. And in some places, there may be some fog. I'm not seeing much of it on the cameras. We're going to walk through the sensors and I'll show you what we're seeing. But right now, 62 degrees. The warmest spot in our viewing area, at least on our map, is right here in the triangle. Dew point's at 57. So that's also considerably higher. It just means that there's more moisture. We could see some patchy fog. 60 in Southern Pines, 54 in Goldsboro, 54 South Hill, 55 right now in Clinton. We take a look at our potential for fog, especially in our southern counties. But right now, everything is looking pretty good. As a matter of fact, visibility around Rocky Mount and Wilson was at a quarter of a mile. It's up to 9 miles. So haven't seen a whole lot of it yet, but it's something we'll keep watching. Check back just before you head out the door. We'll let you know if we're seeing any of it develop. Temperature of almost 80 degrees this afternoon. We'll see a mix of sun and clouds, and we are still on track for some really nice weather for trick-or-treaters. Treat time temperatures in the low to mid 70s. But getting into the first part of the weekend, we could see a little light rain. We'll talk more about that coming up. Ken?
All right, Elizabeth, at 6:01, we have a couple of incidents on Ray Road this morning. One was a vehicle fire on Barton's Landing Road that's just cleared just in the last 30 seconds. This is another crash on near Lynn Road. That's not causing any problems for you this morning, which is good news. Elsewhere around the Triangle and surrounding communities, we're seeing nothing but green showing up on the map, which is good news to report. If you're getting ready to head out, listen to us on the radio at 101.5 HD3. You also have a couple more options at 99.3 FM in Raleigh and 96.5 FM in Durham.
Here in the WRAL Live Center, we have been following this breaking story from overnight regarding this missing 9-year-old Micaiah WRAL Strickland and her father, 50-year-old Claude WRAL. Now, we just learned about 10 minutes ago that investigators are saying that WRAL is being sought for questioning in reference to a death investigation. In terms of which investigation, that's unclear. I do want to show you the vehicle, at least the type of vehicle they are believed to last have been seen in. This is a blue 2011 Chevy Traverse, and the license tag that they are believed to have is LBL 1909. So here's what we are doing in the WRAL Live Center. I spoke with Pembroke Police. This is where this is all happening. And I asked specifically what death investigation they're referring to, but we're being told we should learn more information around 7:30 this morning. By that time, WRAL's Michelle McConaughey will be in the Live Center on WRAL News and Fox 50. We will continue to ask questions here on WRAL News.
Chris, thanks. Breaking news. Police in Raleigh are at a gas station on New Bern Avenue after a reported armed robbery. Nick Perlin is there in the WRAL Breaking News Tracker. And Nick, you've been watching this investigation unfold over the past few hours.
And Renee, I can tell you actually right now they're starting to take down some of the crime scene tape behind me. So it does look like they're starting to clear this scene a little bit. But I want to show you some video from the WRAL Breaking News Tracker. This is from around 4 this morning. And you can see here back when that crime scene tape was up, it was blocking the main entrance. There was about 4 Raleigh police cruisers here trying to gather more information. We also did see them speaking to some of the employees that work at the Circle K on New Bern Avenue. We do know that they are investigating an armed robbery, but at this point in time, we're still trying to find out if they have anybody in custody and we're still trying to find out what exactly led up to this. Of course, we're going to keep asking Raleigh Police for more information. Once we get more information, we'll be sure to relay that to you. Live in Raleigh, Nick Perlin, WRAL News.
Today, both presidential candidates are making their late push for support in North Carolina as we are now just 6 days away from Election Day. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey is at RDU International Airport this morning. Both Vice President Kamala Harris, former President Donald Trump will be coming through the airport there, arriving in just the next few hours. Kelsey, good morning.
Jeff, both Trump and Harris will be arriving here at RDU in a few hours, and they're honing in on North Carolina as it's now the final countdown to Election Day. Vice President Kamala Harris is making a campaign stop in Raleigh. The North Carolina Democratic Party announced that event will happen sometime this morning. We're working to find out more about timing and location. As she's visiting Raleigh, her running mate, Governor Tim Walz, will be in Charlotte and Asheville. Former President Donald Trump is scheduled to visit the Rocky Mount Event Center at 1 o'clock. Doors will open for that event at 9 this morning. And we'll have a team here at RDU to keep you updated on both candidates' arrival. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live at RDU.
We'll have team coverage for you throughout the day with Brett Neese covering the Vice President's stop in Raleigh. Heidi Kirk will be in Rocky Mount for Trump's visit. We'll bring you live updates on WRAL.com and the WRAL News app.
New this morning, a WRAL News poll conducted by Survey USA is giving us a better idea of where the race for governor stands as Election Day nears. WRAL's Michelle McConaughey joins us now. Michelle, this poll shows Attorney General Josh Stein is maintaining a healthy lead in the governor's race.
Yeah, definitely, Renee. Democratic nominee Josh Stein has been ahead in the polls for several months now, and these new numbers show Republican challenger Mark Robinson has not been able to close the gap with less than a week before Election Day. The poll shows a 15-point lead for Stein. He has 52% to Robinson's 37%. 10% of voters are undecided, and 1% say they plan to vote third party. Now, breaking down those numbers even further, Stein wins a majority of every generation of voters, from baby boomers to Gen Z. This comes after CNN published a report alleging that Robinson made lewd and racist comments on a pornographic website more than a decade ago. WRAL News poll results Tuesday showed a tie in the presidential race between Trump and Democrat Kamala Harris, and new data we'll release later today shows other state races are much closer. Western Carolina University political science professor Chris Cooper says Robinson's waning support doesn't seem to be affecting other GOP candidates.
What you're seeing is voters are sort of putting Mark Robinson in his own box. They are considering him separate from the rest of this ticket.
And coming up in the next half hour, we'll look at how this race appears to be affecting the presidential race.
Michelle, thank you. You can go to WRAL.com to see our complete article on the poll results and the race to win North Carolina. Later today, our Capitol Bureau Chief Laura Leslie digs deeper into the numbers. Tonight at 6, we'll break down results in the closely watched race for state superintendent, which appears much closer than the race for governor.
Also, this story we covered in the overnight hours. A building is damaged after an early morning fire in Johnston County. This happened on Booker Dairy Road. Authorities say that building is used for CBD storage. 3 fire departments helped to put that fire out. No one was hurt.
A North Carolina man known as the AK Guru is accused of making and selling more than 1,000 fully automatic guns from his home. The FBI says 72-year-old Earl Carter made and sold the guns from his home in Hamlet. That's near the South Carolina border. A confidential informant in Wake County tipped the FBI about Carter's operation, according to an arrest document. Carter is facing charges including conspiracy to manufacture and deal in firearms without a license.
For the second day in a row, extra law enforcement and Wake school security will be at Broughton High School today. The school was on a code red lockdown yesterday. Someone reported a student had a gun on campus. Authorities searched the school. They didn't find a gun. Police tell us a student was detained in connection to what happened. The department did not say how that student was connected, just that it was part of the investigation. This comes days after a student was found with a gun off campus.
The Biltmore is getting close to reopening after damage caused by Helene. The work staff is doing to welcome visitors back ahead of the busy Christmas season.
And ahead at 6:30, a car plows through the wall of this home in Johnston County. The lucky timing that meant no one was inside to be hurt when that crash happened.
A lot happening in our 7-day forecast. Of course, we're looking at a warm day today and again for Halloween. We'll talk about trick-or-treat temperatures and our potential for some light showers late Friday.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM. In Durham, 96.5 FM. And everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
6:12. Here's a live look from our Jimmy V camera, and we're looking down Fayetteville Street. Notice it's a little breezy. You can see the flags flying there. We haven't seen a whole lot of fog developing, and if we're going to see fog developing anywhere this morning, the winds would have to be almost still. Otherwise, it mixes up the atmosphere too much. And we take a look at visibility right now. We did see around Rocky Mount and Wilson down to a quarter of a mile earlier, but it may be that breeze picking up is keeping us from seeing too much fog this morning, which is great. We're still seeing a lot of low cloud cover, though. It's also warmer than it was yesterday. 52 in Tarboro, 58 in Irwin, 59 degrees currently in Goldsboro. Exercise forecast, feeling good out there, though, this morning with temperatures close to 60. It'll be a warmer afternoon, almost 80 degrees. I'll show you what the trick-or-treat time temperatures will be. Coming up, Ken.
All right, Elizabeth, happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. We've got reports of a vehicle fire there on Lynn Road. It's right near the intersection with Ray Road. We're not seeing any problems in that particular area, but just be mindful of that if that intersection is part of your morning commute. Our neighbors in Zebulon, you're looking at a crash there on Zebulon Road or Highway 96 at the intersection of Wade Avenue. Again, we're not seeing any problems in that particular area, but just be mindful of the police activity you might see there. Elsewhere around the Triangle surrounding communities, all the major routes are delayed for you this morning. If you're getting ready to head out, listen to us anywhere in the Triangle on 101.5 HD3. And of course, Jeff, I'll have another update in about 10 minutes.
All right, Ken, thanks. Back to election coverage. President Joe Biden is trying to clean up controversy days before the election after calling former President Donald Trump's supporters garbage during a call with Latino voting organizers.
Just the other day, a speaker at his rally called Puerto Rico a floating island of garbage. Well, let me tell you something. I don't know the Puerto Rican that I know, or Puerto Rico where I'm in my home state of Delaware. They're good, decent, honorable people. The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters.
In a post to X hours later, Biden said he only meant the original comment by Trump-supporting comedian Tony Hinchcliffe was garbage. And former President Trump responded to Biden's comment during a rally last night in Pennsylvania.
For Hillary, she said deplorable, and then she said irredeemable, right? But she said deplorable. That didn't work out. Garbage, I think, is worse, right? But he doesn't know. You have to please forgive him.
Trump did not mention Hinchcliffe's original garbage remark during the rally.
Kamala Harris is calling on Americans to turn the page on the Donald Trump era. Speaking from the same site as former President Trump before the attack on the Capitol on January 6th, Harris made her final case to voters on why she's the better choice for president. The vice president sent an optimistic message about the country's direction if she's elected.
I pledge to you to approach my work with the joy and optimism that comes from making a difference in people's lives. And I pledge to be a president for all Americans.
The Harris campaign estimates more than 75,000 people were at that rally.
Durham police are investigating a shooting that injured a man. It happened at 7:30 last night on Dayton Street. Police found a man who had been shot. They say he is expected to live. If you have any information about this case, you're asked to call police.
Today, we will get a look at the Biltmore before it reopens this weekend. WRAL's Chelsea Donovan will be there, sharing how they are preparing to welcome back guests. Tonight at 6 on WRAL, Chelsea will take you behind the scenes as they raise the holiday centerpiece, a 35-foot Fraser fir. Beginning Saturday, you'll be able to visit the estate for Christmas at Biltmore.
That is something special to take in right now. 6:16 is the time. Certainly not going to jump ahead and talk too much about Christmas. We haven't even gotten to Halloween yet. That's tomorrow. It's going to be pretty warm out there as well, Elizabeth.
I'll tell you what, is it not flying by? My goodness. We take a look outside this morning. This is over downtown Raleigh past the legislative building. It's cloudy, and you can almost pick that out. The lights of the city kind of reflecting on the bottoms of those low clouds. So expect that, maybe a little bit of fog. We have conditions that are mostly right for fog, so watching out for that. And temperatures are warm. We're looking at 50s and 60s instead of 30s and 40s like we've seen the last few days. Checking Futurecast this morning just to take a look at the cloud cover. It's going to be pretty cloudy this morning as you're stepping out the door. And again, you might run into a patch or two of fog. Once we get to lunchtime, we should start to see those clouds breaking up. And it'll be partly cloudy for the remainder of the afternoon. Maybe some evening clouds rolling in some parts of the viewing area. But the bulk of the clouds that we see today will happen the first half of the day. Our next weather maker comes on Friday night. This will be our next front coming through. We're really warm, almost record highs ahead of this front. And it brings only a very tiny chance of rain Friday night into early Saturday. Behind it, our temperatures will be normal again before we actually see some warmer temperatures. Here's a look at the big picture. This high pressure system is feeding in some warmth and moisture from off the Atlantic from the south. And so that's why we're so warm. But then here comes the front, a little bit of rain with that, and it'll help to drop our temperatures. This is Friday morning, and you can see that front in the mountains. But as it crosses our area, you can see very little rain with it. We'll pause it right there at 10 o'clock Friday night. Just a quick little shower rolls through and might still be here very early Saturday morning, and then it's done. It may be in some places that it's a little bit wet on the streets as you step out on Saturday morning, but the rest of the day looks dry. And you can see here our forecast rainfall, negligible. We're not likely to see much of that rain measuring anything in the rain gauges. Ahead of that, our Halloween forecast still looking good, really warm, upper 70s to low 80s for the highs tomorrow. For your Halloween forecast, you do not need a jacket, a coat, or an umbrella, which is good news, but maybe a flashlight because we'll have a new moon. Halloween planner at 5 o'clock, 76, 7 o'clock, 71. Again, just a really nice Halloween for us. Looking ahead to the City of Oaks Marathon on Sunday, we're proud sponsors of that. Temperatures will be in the 50s at race time and then climbing later on into the upper 60s. A quick look at the tropics, still a 40% chance of development here in the Caribbean, but the models have really kind of let go of that system developing. So probably the Hurricane Center will start to drop that number. We're going to drop our temperatures from 81 on Friday to 71 on Saturday. And then, of course, we're going to move that time change. We're going to talk about the big differences. You really notice it with the sunset, from Saturday night to Sunday night. We're going to talk about that big difference coming up.
Looking forward to that extra hour of sleep.
Yes,
Elizabeth,
definitely.
thanks. Here's what you have to look forward to as you're heading out this morning. Just a crash right there on North Raleigh in the intersection of Lynn Road and Ray Road this morning, and also a crash up in Zebulon. Not really causing any problems for you this morning. We do want to take you outside, give you a live look at I-40 and Airport Boulevard. Traffic flowing nicely in both directions as it picks up this morning. If you're getting ready to head out, you can listen to us on the radio anywhere in the Triangle on 101.5 HD3. You also have another option too, 99.3 FM in Raleigh and 96.5 FM in Durham.
Your time is 6:19 here on the WRAL Life Center. I was looking through the NBC feeds, and I happened to see this live look at the Biltmore estate. And I see there's a tree there, clearly with some lights that are on it, and the estate in the background here. This is actually all happening ahead of our reporter, WRAL's Chelsea Donovan. She is going to be at the Biltmore estate ahead of the reopening, which is officially happening on Saturday. We'll see reports from her later today talking a little bit about the recovery effort and how the Biltmore estate was able to rebuild and, of course, clear up so that it can welcome guests again. As you know, tourism so big for that area, and the hope is that people return to that area again to help out their travel.
You're so right. That is a significant milestone in the recovery of Western North Carolina. Rules may soon change for how your children can use their phones in school. The next steps Wake County Schools is taking to try to keep distractions to a minimum.
And how about fans getting just a little too close to the action in Yankee Stadium? The play that got a couple of them ejected last night as the Yankees try to stay alive in the World Series.
Coming up on Today, Savannah Guthrie sits down with Tom Hanks to chat about his iconic movie roles, his work for military caregivers, and his latest movie.
And here are your winning NC Education lottery numbers on your screen. Hopefully you got the winning ticket there. We'll be right back with what's trending.
If so, share.
This What's Trending report, sponsored by Rug & Home.
Scary Movie is coming back, and some of its original big names are coming back with it.
Ken Smith is here now with What's Trending. Ken.
Rest assured it will be hilarious, right? Marlon Wayans says he and his brothers will be back for the upcoming 6th Scary Movie. They wrote and starred in the first and second movies in the franchise. The next Scary Movie is set to start production next year.
Yeah, 2020 is when the first one, they worked on it next year. So now we have to wait, but that was the big announcement that they were alluding to. Don't know if there are some of the other folks returning who were in this originally and who may be added and joining that cast. We'll have to see.
25 years of scary movies.
Well, they have been Wayans. Anyway.
Right, yeah, Wayans brothers.
And Lady Gaga is trending this morning. She's giving us our first taste of her next studio album. She released a music video for the first single, Disease. She says it's about her relationship with her inner demons.
And in the video, she's showing different versions of herself. And in this beautiful and reflective post on Instagram, she talked about her struggles and challenges, and she ended it by saying, I saved myself by keeping going. I am the whole me, I am strong, and I am up for the challenge. Her new studio album will drop in February.
Yeah, words to live by for sure.
If you're super hip, that could be a Halloween costume, it looks like, right now.
She also ended the post by saying, Happy Halloween. All right. Tonight, your kids can have fun and you can learn more about Raleigh transportation projects at the same time. The city is hosting a transportation and treats event at Marsh Creek Community Center from 4 to 7 tonight. These are pictures from last year's event. Looked like a fun time. Kids can enjoy face painting and games. They can ride e-bikes and scooters, and adults can learn about transportation projects and get more information about jobs in that department.
WRAL News is following this breaking story from overnight, an Amber Alert for a missing 9-year-old, and the man investigators say she's believed to be with. Coming up at 6:30, the other case he's being connected to.
And we're looking at the potential for some fog and low cloud cover this morning. We take a look at Futurecast, and you can see those clouds hanging around this morning up until around lunchtime. It's going to be a warm afternoon. I'll show you how close we'll be to record highs.